Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's NewsStand, and I want to talk a little bit about Gotham Knights. I didn't really get too much after fandom, and now there is this weird, absolutely ridiculous backlash going on. And it's only by a small minority, but even so, they are vocal, so I kind of want to talk about it head on. I want to talk about just exactly the issue they are having with it and everything involved. Not only that, but this is one of those situations where being reactionary is key to getting attention, right? So you probably haven't seen much of this. Like I said, it's very few in this actual boat here, right? But it is going around all platforms of social media saying that, Batman is gone SJW. Not just Batman, but the actual game itself. And all of this centers around one person who is actually very professional. Everything I can find, she has a solid track record, and we will talk about that. And then we'll get into more. So Anne Lemay, she is the narrative director on Gotham Knights. She has a Twitter. And once that was found, everybody reacts, right? Because she has Black Lives Matter within it. And, of course, she has her pronouns. Okay, so here's my issue with this. When you look into Anne Lemay, she looks very SJW, very stereotypical SJW. Right, exactly. So that's fine. Here is the thing. Once you start actually looking into the work that she's done, nothing, not a single ounce of SJW is within it. Not a single little bit of what she has been on, and her track record is pretty solid, honestly. So I think this is a non-issue, but she has been on Assassin's Creed, a couple Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect, Andromeda, which had its own issues, but I don't think that was necessarily her fault. Also Mass Effect 3, Dragon Age Inquisition. She worked on 2 different open season video games, which is kids, I don't know, I've never seen it. It's a kids animation movie, right? And then Naruto, Rise of the Ninja, which would have been for the 360. So that was quite a while ago. But even so, these things that she's worked on, then when she has been the narrative lead, have all been politically free. They have been and had absolutely zero politics within them. So do I think this is going to be an issue? No. And now that we've already gotten a trailer, a really good trailer, an absolutely amazing trailer, I actually watched it right before I recorded because I'm like, every time I watch this trailer, I get excited again. So I look into a little bit more, right? She's one, but there's other people involved. So let's take a look at the voice actors. They're all like, spoiler warning, they're all fine. They are all fine. Actually, the one that does Alfred has a YouTube channel, so I went over and checked that out. He's just like a sweet old man that loves reading books. It's literally what it is. And then if you look at actually who Bruce Wayne is, he was Mr. Negative in, Spider-Man PS4. So we know he's talented. Everybody within this is talented. Everybody that is involved in this project has a solid track record. So is any of this going to be SJW? No. But let's talk a little bit more about the other controversy that is involved. So, what I heard going around was the fact that Batman dying, I'm not kidding, this is real, or I wouldn't be talking about it, is the death, it insinuates the death of the patriarchy. Yeah, that's a real statement there. So, let's talk about Batman dying, right? We have had so many Batmans die. Though, let's talk about, what about Batman Red Sun, right? What about 3 Batmans dying on Earth 2? Bruce in the first issue, Thomas Wayne during Convergence, and then Dick Grayson near the end of the 2nd season. So that's 3, or series. That's 3, right? So, let's talk about Imperial Joker. Joker killed him repeatedly, right? And Batman was, mentally broken by the end, a complete mental mess. Only saved by the fact that Superman took his memories and his pain away from him, to spare his friend, right? So, Flashpoint, Batman died twice. Technically, Bruce died at the end of Endgame. It's why, he was resurrected and he had no memories, right? So, Batman R.I.P. That led into Final Crisis by Grant Morrison, right? So, super SJW, Grant Morrison, right? Oh, no, not even a little bit? Okay. So, they both covered kind of the same thing, right? Rip Batman was Gotham thinking that Batman was dead, and Final Crisis was the rest of the DCU thinking that Batman was dead. So, technically, Batman died in Dark Knight Rises 3, right? So, he was brought back. Yeah, I know that, but he was heat visioned through the back. So, he died in issue 1 of Deceased by Tom Taylor. Even though now we do have a new Batman, which is Damian, right? Does a fantastic job as Batman. So, yeah, Bruce Wayne died in DC's. There's also been plenty of Elseworld stories like Batman, Two-Face, where Batman is Jekyll, and then you have Joker as Hyde. He died. Harvey takes the cure and becomes then Batman, right? So technically, Bruce Wayne died. Technically, each of the Dark Knight's death metal Batmen have died, except for the one, the Batman who laughs, who's obviously still around in death metal. And speaking of video games, I know I talked a lot about comics in this one, Batman dying. Arkham Knight, right? At the end, he's technically supposed to be perceived as dead. We really don't know, right? He's using the fear toxin to do the nightmare Batman thing. He faked his own death. And same with movies, right? Dark Knight Rises. The world thinks Batman is dead, but Bruce still lives, so he can be happy and da-da-da-da-da-da. Vampire Batman, again, going to the Elseworlds, he killed himself. And Black Label. I don't think any of these books were Black Label, right? So let's talk about that. Batman Damned, the very first Black Label book, he died, right? Well, you didn't technically know till the end with Spectre, but even so, dead. Okay, so Batman dying is a sign of the end of the patriarch. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's a common trope that we've seen done time and time again. Does Bruce Wayne die a lot? No. I'm talking about years of material here. But it is something that is done to spotlight, usually, the family or something like that, or a new Batman. It is done for a certain reason. So no, it's not patriarchal. It's absolutely just Batman dying. It's just for a plot point. So, let's talk about this lighting here, which was another issue. It does have a lot to do with the mechanics and the gear that is actually within it. So, one of the people working on the project said, it's funny you brought that up, because it's a very important platform for us to deliver game information. So, it's a way for the Joker to receive signs of feedback. Did I say Joker? I meant player. Wow. And lets them know what protection they have and what they're doing to use against their enemies, both in terms of ranged and melee attacks. Some of those visual effects tell you what damage type you have equipped on your weapon. So they are using the coloring scheme not as a way of using different lighting. They are using it simply for, well, of course they are, but they're using it not in a bisexual lighting type stance. They are using it for visual effects to tell you what type of damage you have, what you have equipped on your weapons. It is all done very purposefully. So I'm excited. I can't wait for this movie. I'm not even kidding. Or this game. I was so disappointed when I seen it was 2021, but I was so happy because nobody's really talking about it, but this is the first game where we actually have civilians in the Arkham game, right? There's always a reason to have them removed, right? There's always a reason that they take them out. There's civilians in this game. I know that's not a big deal, but it is in a way. So I'm really excited. Now, I know they've doubled down on it. Do I believe Bruce is actually dead? I don't know. I don't think anyone quite believes it, so we'll have to wait and see. But I just wanted to kind of talk about this controversy head on, because it's not a controversy. It's a fabricated mess by people that have been When you seek out constantly, right? When you are constantly looking for politics or leftist agenda within something, you're going to find it, even when it's not there. And unfortunately, that happens a lot to people that get very close. And sometimes when you're too close, you need to either take a step back or simply not obsess over these things. And I understand I do a little bit because of my channel, but when you get too close, you're always going to see politics. You're always going to see something there. And it's not. It's just simply not. So anyways, let me know, of course, what you guys think about this. If you think I'm completely wrong, let me know in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Balls, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskar, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.